This video is embarrassingly overdue. I have made weight loss vlogs, I have made recipes, I have made what I eat in a day, workouts, I've done motivation, I've done weight loss topics, and I never once mentioned why I even want to lose weight in the first place. This is an overdue introduction to me and also my reasons for wanting to lose weight, which there are a whopping 14. But first, a couple stats about me. Greetings, hello, hi, howdy do, how are ya? My name is Sarah. I am 27 years old. I am 27 years old. My birthday is in October, which makes me a Libra, if you were curious. I am a short 5'1" 3/4. My starting weight in this journey was sometime in early December, and I was 195 pounds. Currently, I am plateaued at 186, which is almost a 10-pound weight loss. We're nearly there. When I tell you this is the most stubborn plateau I have ever been in, oh my gosh, every single morning for like 2 weeks now, it's 186, 186, 186, 186. I'm just like, give me a break, please. But after all, I'm in this for the long haul. It's okay, I will get through it, it's whatever. The scale can be a little stubborn because guess what? I am even more stubborn. Now I'm going to get into my reasons for why I want to lose weight, but I want to give a big preface to this. I know that most people who come across this video are likely searching for weight loss content, which is how you found me. So I don't think most people who are at a heavier size and want to stay at that size would find this content. So I'm not intending anyone who doesn't want to lose weight to see this video. For a lot of people who do want to lose weight, I imagine we are in a similar boat in the sense that we have bigger bodies. And when I discuss my body, I do not want to make anyone else feel self-conscious if we share a similar attribute that I don't like, but maybe it doesn't bother you. So now let's get into the 14 reasons why I want to lose 80 pounds. Number 1, I don't feel that I was meant to be this size. My best self leads a healthy lifestyle. This is very important to me because I think that when I was younger and I was fitter, I was a smaller size, I was a bit more active, I definitely looked far more athletic. I felt a lot more comfortable in my skin, both physically but emotionally as well. Now that I've grown and I've also gained a lot of weight, I don't feel like I'm meant to be this size. And I don't know another way to say it. It's just that for me and for my experience and for what I'm going through, when I think of my best self, when I think of ideal Sarah and who she is and what she thinks and how she acts, and her self-worth and her confidence, she's not fat. And in this era of a lot of really, really great messaging coming out about body positivity, which I actually am a big supporter of in many ways, it can be really hard to listen to yourself and to listen to what your deepest self is telling you and be honest with what your own deepest desires for yourself are, because a lot of outside voices, even though they're a positive voice, even though it's a good voice, even though it's a message that is for equality in how we respect each other's bodies, sometimes it can be hard to still say something like that. I have many people in my family, I have many people in my life who are really heavy. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. And that's a difficult thing to say. I'm not trying to make myself sound super brave by saying that or make it sound like that's like the hardest thing to ever come out and say. It's just really difficult, like I said, to still feel like you're not in your final form, that you haven't hit the top of how you want to present yourself to the world. You don't feel like yourself, and you know that it's because you're so overweight. And that's a hard thing to try to verbalize, especially when there's a lot of, well-intended activism that shames you for that. It makes you sound like you're a bad, terrible person who hates other people or hates certain types of people because of how they look. When When I say that I don't want to be fat, I'm only talking about myself. I only am talking about Sarah. I'm not talking about what ideals I have for who I'm dating or for who I encounter in the street, because that's none of my business. I don't have goals and aspirations for them. I'm just worrying about myself, and I have my happiness and my confidence as my own top priority. And because that's my business, because that is my responsibility, I need to do what's best for me, and I know that my best self is not fat. Reason number 2 is my back pain. Oh, this is such a story. Okay, I'll try to make it short and sweet, but basically, when I worked in the hospital as a CNA or a certified nursing assistant, I worked there without much issue for like a year and a half, and then I had a really terrible back injury. And it changed my career. It changed my future. My back, even as I do that, like even as I sit up straight and inhale, I can feel my upper vertebrae popping. It does that all the time, all the time. I sincerely thought that my back pain was never going to get better. I thought that there was nothing I could do, and it was just such a terrifying way to go about life because I didn't know what was going to irritate it. I would do things that I thought were safe, and then for no good reason, my back would just be so tight and so sensitive. I genuinely thought that that was just going to be the rest of my life. And then I lost 30 pounds about a year and a half ago, and I'm telling you guys, I cried about it. I cried over it for a lot of reasons, especially because I changed careers because I was terrified to put my back in jeopardy like that again. I was terrified to potentially have to sacrifice my back and my health for my job. That's what took me out of nursing, was that fear. I really thought that the rest of my life I was going to be in discomfort and pain. And then, sorry, part of me is getting emotional, but I'm also recording, so it makes it like hard to like actually get emotional about it. But I finally got some relief. And to go from that super dark place of so much uncertainty and so much fear, and that was how I was starting to make decisions, was out of uncertainty and fear, and then to finally have this hope and this like, even not even like my back feels good, but my back feels neutral. Just having no pain was something that I had no idea if I could ever have that again, if I would ever have that blessing that I didn't know I was taking for granted the rest of my life. And I really felt like I got so much of my freedom and so much of my life in a lot of clarity, a lot of peace of mind, because then I could start to choose things for my future that weren't from a place of fear and weren't from a place of uncertainty and trying to protect myself. I didn't need that protection anymore. I had fixed it. And then I gained it all back. Hi, Bunny. Hopefully my emotional support cat actually cuddles me and doesn't try to attack my feet like she does. Come on, kitty. My back has been irritating me again, like daily. Talking about that absolutely makes me feel pretty disappointed in myself for not protecting my back. It sounds silly, but I feel like I wasn't expecting my back pain to come back the way it did. You're making it hard to focus because you're so cute. I would love nothing more than to get that relief that I had from my first weight loss journey and greatly reduce, if not completely eliminate, my back pain. Reason number 3 is a little bit tied to the back pain, but that is better sleep quality and comfort, and I'll explain how. I think that I am naturally either a stomach or a side sleeper, but it's really difficult for me to do that at this weight without my arms going numb and somehow waking me up or me constantly needing to readjust. I have to sleep on my back most of the time, and that doesn't feel the most comfortable for me, and I do think that that contributes to my back pain. Reason number 4 is chafing. Oh my gosh, this is chafing. Like, it's so annoying. It's so uncomfortable, and it's so frustrating because I know that when I'm at a smaller size, I can wear shorts and I don't have that problem. So not only is it physical pain, it also is like a reminder that I wouldn't have this issue if I was at a smaller weight, which feels so irritating. So not all of my reasons are completely void of a little bit of ego, a little bit of arrogance. I'll just say what it is. Number 5 is aesthetic things, such as a jawline, my waist, and I'm just gonna say it now. You might not believe me, and that's totally fine. But my butt. When I am thinner, my butt looks so good. But then once I started to put on some weight, I've gained fat in my thighs and my abdomen. So now I think that proportionally it all just looks big. But I know that once I lose weight and my butt stays big, it's gonna look wonderful. Reason number 6 is an opportunity to express self-love and self-care. A lot of the things that I have to do to promote my weight loss, like keeping my kitchen clean, exercising regularly, watching out for my hygiene, all of these are expressions of self-care and self-love. Number 7 is a huge one for me, and that is gaining confidence through achieving a long-term goal. I still remember the night that I finished my first novel. I wrote this whole book. It took well over a year. I had like a 6-month hiatus in the middle of it. And when I put down that final word, that final edit of the final sentence, and I walked away and I had this visceral pride, this visceral just feeling of accomplishment and like immense happiness and wonder and excitement. And I was like, I'm done. Like I did that. That took over a year and I did that. That kind of joy and relief and happiness and accomplishment is the feelings that I am chasing through this weight loss. Number 8 is another physical health one, and that is to reduce my asthma symptoms. Number 9 is the sensation. Number 9 is kind of hard to explain, and I feel like I'm the only person in the world who gets this bothered by it, but it's the sensation of my wet skin touching itself. So when I take a shower and I have like water running down my back or water running down my sides, so the skin has folds, I guess, and it touches itself there, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. I don't know why it grosses me out so much, but I hate that sensation. Number 10 is my knee and foot pain, and trust me, this one is so valid in my case because my dad's side of the family is notorious for joint replacements. My dad had his first hip replacements like in his 30s, and he just got another one in his 60s. He's had his knees replaced. My aunt, his sister, have had her knees replaced. They just have got gnarly joints. So I need to limit how much weight I am consistently carrying around on me and putting on these joints. And hopefully I can avoid knee replacements and hip replacements, or at least push them off for a while longer. Number 11 is something that I learned from my doctor, which is when you have less body fat, you have less estrogen, and that leads to less severe period symptoms. Number 12 is a better chance of survival if something seriously bad happens, or a better rehab if needed. I hate to think like this, but in case something happens, and say like I'm in a really bad car accident and I need rehab on my knees, I need physical therapy to help me walk even, I know that carrying extra weight on me is going to be one factor that is going to make it harder, and I just wish that I won't have to worry about it if something like that were to happen. Number 13 is kind of wordy, so I'm just gonna read it verbatim. It is, give my future kids the chance to have healthy relationships with food and end what was passed down to me. As I've talked about this before, weight loss is simple in terms of calories in and calories out, but what complicates it so much is the human element, the psychology, the history, so many other factors that make weight loss and our relationships with food even super complicated at times. There is a very long, very juicy story that I'm going to save for another day. I'll just say that my mom was constantly talking to me about dieting when I was way too young, I think. When I was way too little, when I shouldn't have needed to hear those kind of conversations, and not even concern for me, because remember, like, I was a fit kid, but it was my mom talking about herself and her body image and her diets off and on that I think didn't set me up for great chances for when I got older and even at that age. So now that I'm almost to the age where I want to start thinking about kids, I want to give them the best chance possible to have a healthy relationship with food. I don't wish this on my children. And number 14 is an easy peasy, beautiful cover girl, heart health. For everyone watching, I wish you the best, and please let me know your reasons for wanting to lose weight. I am super curious to know what other people are going through, and I also think it's a really great idea to write it all out like I have. That way, someday, maybe if you're feeling lower in motivation, or if you just need a good reminder, it's always there for you to read and to pick yourself back up. Remembering the why is a huge part of the how. Oh my God. I should trademark that. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for listening. And if you haven't already, please consider leaving a like on this video and subscribing. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.